Well, hi, welcome to Fun in Our RV. I'm going to show you a little something here that I've already talked about in other videos. Back, maybe a year ago. Stop that. Back maybe a year ago, we did a video called 8 upgrades in 8 minutes. And I just kind of pointed at each upgrade and talked about them only for a few seconds. And this was one of them, and that was the curtain that we have separating the bed area from the rest of the area. Now, there's a lot of good reasons to have that curtain there. One is the air conditioner. If there's just 2 of you, you can close the curtain like that, and the air conditioner really only has to cool off this one end, and it works out really well. The other thing, of course, is privacy. If you have some kids or something like that, you have a little bit of privacy, they have a little bit of privacy, things like that. Somebody can actually watch television maybe a little bit with it closed and not disturb others. It's a handy thing to have, this curtain system here, and a lot of people really liked it, but I kept getting a lot of questions about it. How did I install it? Where did I get it? What do you have to get? Things like that. And so we're getting a brand new mattress. Now, the mattress we got was just a memory foam mattress, and we liked it a lot. We're going to make a video about the new mattress and why we're getting a new mattress. But since we're getting a new mattress anyway, and these curtains are going to be in the way, I'm going to take them down, and then I'm going to put everything back up and make a video about it, about putting up the curtains, how we did it, how well they're working, things like that. So we're going to have 2 videos here basically, but not together. They'll be separate videos. One will be about the new mattress we're getting, and the other one and why we're getting it, and even though this one worked actually pretty well. And also we're going to make one about putting curtains in your RV. So with that, we're going to take this down, and then later I'm going to put the whole thing back up and video it as I do it, okay? We'll be right back. Okay, great. Well, putting a curtain divider in here between the bed and basically the dinette and the bunk beds is probably one of the favorite things that we have done with our Coleman 17B. It helps for a lot of reasons. Like I said, if it's really hot, which it has been lately, and you don't have somebody staying in the bunks, you can just pull this curtain all the way there, and you've only got this relatively small area to cool, and it's just no problem whatsoever. I mean, and you'll know in the middle of the night when you get up to go to use the restroom, you go, oh my gosh, it's hot in here on this end, because it's not getting cool because you've got that curtain up. Works great. If you have some guests, some grandkids or something like that, then what we do is we just close it about halfway. We put a fan up here that helps blow the cool air their direction, and it still gets plenty circulated, and you have a little bit of privacy. Somebody can actually watch the television without disturbing somebody else, and you know, it just works out really well. We really like it. And also lights that come in windows and stuff, it helps you sleep later, you know, all kinds of things. It's really nice, and by putting a partition in a room, a house or something like that, it actually makes it feel bigger. So all those things are reasons why I think this idea was really great. Now, I saw somebody else who did that. This is not my idea. How I'm doing it, for all I know, is my idea, and I think they may have actually, you know, used mounts and screws or who knows what. But really all I did was get a great big giant shower curtain rod, you know, the kind that you either twist to tighten or spring loaded. I got a great big one of those. Now, one this big, it's not cheap, you know. Shower curtain rods that you just screw out until they're tight and squeeze them in, and they're there. Those are relatively inexpensive. When you decide you want to get one like this, it costs a little bit more money, but it works in every kind of way, in that it has this button kind of lock thing here that you can extend it however you want, and then it has also the twist end, just like a shower curtain rod, that you twist it and make it as tight as you can, then kind of squeeze it into place. See, this is spring loaded, but it's spring loaded with a much stronger spring than, say, maybe that curtain rod is, and the whole thing is bigger and beefier than the curtain rod. Now, the thing that makes it so expensive is, instead of the curtain rod, which comes in two or sometimes even just one piece. This thing comes in several pieces, so you can make it as long as you want. You see, this piece here comes off, and you can put another one on the end of this. And so you have to buy one that it's about 8 feet from here to there, and so you have to buy a curtain rod, adjustable, collapsible, or whatever you want to call it, curtain rod that has a range of like 6 to 10 feet or something like that. And we put it in. We did the thing where we I tightened it up, and then I would take it up here and I would squeeze it in real tight, and it would work. But the least little thing would knock it down. You bumped your head on it, it would fall down. No matter how tight I made it. It felt like I was bulging the sides of the camper out. I'd make it so tight. No matter how tight I made it. This thing calls to you to be a place to hang clothes. You're getting packed up for a trip or something. You go, well, I'll just hang this bunch of clothes right here for the time being. I put a clothes rod in the bottom bunk up against the top of it, so if you're not using that, you can use that bottom bunk like a closet. That works really well too, but for the time being, you always think, well, let me just put this here for a second. You put it there, puts a little bit of weight on it, bump into it, it falls down. You get wherever you're going on a trip and it's falling down. All right, how do we deal with it? All right, step number one is get one of these, make sure it's long enough, and twist it so that when you put it in place, it is really tight against the wall, and you think it's going to stay. Well, it's not. So I tried to figure out what to do. And so the first thing I decided to try to make it so it worked, I thought I would get some of those Coleman peel and stick hooks, kind of hooks for like hanging things on. I looked at these. Now you might see, well, that would work. We put that peel and stick, put that on there, let it hang on. No, this is just barely not big enough for that rod. Okay, and these are rather expensive, so I bought 2 of these for no good reason. But what I did was I stuck them on the end of these cabinets here, and we hang shirts and things like that on them. Works really kind of well. I'm really happy about that. But what I did instead was there we go. I tried to get some kind of hardware, tried to make something, and finally I'm standing there in Home Depot and I see this, okay? Can you see that okay in the camera? It's just a little L bracket, and these things cost almost pennies, okay? And I got one of these, and I put it on the wall of the cabinet for the AC there, and I went, well, that's going to work. So then I went over to my workbench, took a hammer and kind of bent on it a little bit to give it like a curved kind of shape, and then an end on it so it wouldn't slide off. Okay, and you'll see what I mean here in just a second. Let's come this way. All right, normally of course I would have all the curtains that I bought, and I bought these curtains that go just about halfway down to the floor, a little over, and I would tighten that up and I would put this on here, set it on it, but I would have the curtains on it already, okay? And you'll see that in a second. Then I put it up here and I pushed that end in, and I lined it up, everything up with this little bar or piece of batting or whatever it is right there, and that thing sits right on it perfectly. It doesn't want to go anywhere. The trim around the door here is enough to hold this one in place, and now that bracket that I put there holds that one in place, and I zip tied on. Let me show you how the whole thing actually goes together. We'll probably speed this up. Here. Now the zip tie Keeps it from just bouncing out of that little indentation, or whatever you want to call it there, that little seat. And we're good to go. Now if you wanted to, you could also always put a couple more zip ties on there if you wanted. How cool is that? Okay, don't forget to subscribe, like, do all those things. We really need that kind of stuff. So we're going to see you guys later down the road. Hope to see you at some beautiful RV campground.